Moyo, a 17-year-old high school student in Lagos, is known for his incredible talent on the guitar and piano. Music has always been his escape from a rough neighborhood and his family's financial struggles. He's driven by dreams of fame and fortune, but achieving them seems distant. Kemi, the valedictorian and top student in his class, often catches his eye. Despite their different worlds, she is from a well-off family, focused on academics. Moyo is captivated by her quiet confidence and brilliance. He wonders if someone like her could ever be interested in him. One evening after school, Moyo is approached by Ode, a senior student who promises him the opportunity of a lifetime. Ade tells him about an exclusive club for talented individuals that offers resources, connections, and a shot at success. Intrigued but skeptical, Moyo initially brushes it off. However, Ade's words linger. The promise of a better life and recognition is tempting, especially as his family struggles. That night, Moyo contemplates the offer, weighing his ambitions against his instincts. After some hesitation, Moyo decides to attend one of the club's meetings, held in a hidden part of the school campus. He's impressed by the grandeur of it all, the mystery, the rituals, and the promises of wealth. The club members speak about music as a gateway to influence, fame, and even fortune. Their leader, Mr. Owalobi, is charismatic, presenting the club as a brotherhood that nurtures talent. Moyo is drawn in, thinking this might be his chance to make it big. In class, Moyo and Kemi are paired for a literature project, giving him the chance to talk to her. As they work together, he learns about her dedication to becoming a doctor and her commitment to staying grounded. When Moyo hints at the new club he joined, Kemi's expression changes. She's heard rumors about it, warning him that things aren't always as they seem. But Moyo brushes off her concern, convinced this is his big break. The club's initiation ceremony is intense, filled with mysterious symbols and chants. Moyo feels a thrill but also a strange sense of unease. He's asked to pledge his loyalty and sign an oath of secrecy. To seal his commitment, he's told he must sacrifice a personal item that symbolizes his past struggles. Reluctantly, Moyo parts with a charm his grandmother had given him for protection. This act solidifies his allegiance, and he becomes an official member of the club. Shortly after his initiation, Moyo's life starts to change. He begins to receive invites to perform at exclusive events, gaining popularity among students and even some local artists. With newfound confidence, he dazzles audiences and earns more money than ever before. For the first time, he can help his family financially, and he feels a surge of pride. Yet, Kemi's words still haunt him, and he wonders if this success is worth the strange rituals he now participates in. As Moyo's star rises, he continues working on the project with Kemi, who remains wary of the club's influence on him. Moyo finds himself confiding in her about his dreams and insecurities, and Kemi starts to see beyond his flashy persona. Their connection deepens, but Moyo is torn between his growing affection for her and his ambition. For now, he resolves to keep his personal life and his involvement with the club separate. The club's demands start to increase. Mr. Owalobi insists that Moyo perform at specific events, often for influential people with questionable reputations. He's asked to perform music that feels darker and more aggressive. Moyo feels uneasy but continues to comply, believing this is the price of fame. Each performance pushes him further into the club's shadowy world, leaving him restless and anxious. Kemi becomes increasingly concerned about Moyo's well-being. She notices a change in him. His once joyful music feels forced, even angry. During one of their study sessions, she confronts him, urging him to reconsider his choices. Moyo brushes off her concerns, reassuring her that he's in control. Yet, Kemi's words linger, making him question if the path he's on will ultimately lead to ruin. One night, Moyo has a vivid, disturbing dream where he's surrounded by shadows that seem to consume him. He sees himself performing to a faceless crowd, bound to his instruments like a puppet. When he wakes, he's drenched in sweat, feeling a deep sense of dread. Moyo dismisses it as nerves, but the imagery haunts him. He wonders if the club's influence is corrupting his passion for music. Moyo's performances and recognition continue to grow, but he notices an unsettling shift in his personal relationships. Old friends start to distance themselves, and he finds himself feeling isolated, despite his success. Ade warns him that this is a natural part of the journey to greatness. Those who can't support his dreams will fall away. Moyo tries to accept this, but he can't shake the loneliness creeping in. As Moyo and Kemi grow closer, Kemi becomes increasingly frustrated by his commitment to the club. She gives him an ultimatum: leave the club, or risk their budding relationship. Moyo is torn, realizing how much Kemi means to him. Yet, is hesitant to let go of the opportunities the club offers. Caught between his ambition and his feelings for Kemi, he starts to question what truly matters to him. During a club meeting, Mr. Owalobi introduces a new ritual meant to amplify members' talents. Each member is instructed to perform a song, pouring their soul into the music. When Moyo plays, he feels an intense surge of energy, but it's overwhelming and leaves him feeling drained. The ritual leaves him unnerved, but the other members praise his performance. Moyo begins to wonder what kind of power the club is really granting him. Determined to help Moyo, Kemi digs deeper into the history of the club. She finds stories of past students who joined and mysteriously faded into obscurity, their once promising futures seemingly stolen. She shares her findings with Moyo, warning him that the club's promises may come at a price. Though he tries to downplay it, Moyo can't ignore the evidence Kemi presents, making him question the club's true intentions. As Moyo's doubts about the club grow, so does the pressure from Mr. Owalobi. Moyo realizes that he's expected to perform at an important upcoming event, one that could make or break his career. He's conflicted, aware that this could be the opportunity he's been waiting for, but he can't ignore the unease Kemi's warnings have stirred. He begins to consider if he should leave the club altogether, but fears the consequences. The club members begin to notice Moyo's hesitance, and Ade warns him that loyalty is paramount. He's given a task to prove his allegiance, something he finds morally questionable. Struggling with his conscience, Moyo realizes he's being forced to choose between his values and his dreams. This is a turning point for him, as he starts to see how the club is eroding his sense of self. Despite his reservations, Moyo performs at the high-profile event, capturing the audience with his talent. The response is overwhelmingly positive, and he finally feels like he's on the verge of stardom. However, instead of feeling triumphant, he's left feeling empty. The applause feels hollow, and he realizes that the club's influence has tainted his love for music. His internal conflict intensifies as he questions if fame is worth losing himself. Disappointed by Moyo's choices, Kemi begins to distance herself. The two have a painful confrontation, with Kemi expressing her disappointment and concern. She tells Moyo that until he frees himself from the club, she can't be a part of his life. Heartbroken, Moyo watches her walk away, feeling a void that no amount of applause can fill. Without Kemi in his life, Moyo's passion for music fades. His songs become darker, filled with anger and frustration. His success grows, but he feels more disconnected than ever. His family, though grateful for his financial contributions, notices his change in attitude. Moyo begins to realize that his ambition has isolated him from everyone he cares about. The wealth and fame he once dreamed of seem empty without someone to share them with. One evening, Moyo overhears a conversation between Mr. Owalobi and another senior club member. They speak of using young talents to generate power for the club's leaders, who siphon the energy and success from members to sustain their own influence. Horrified, Moyo realizes that the club has been manipulating him and other members. The fame he's achieved is a trap, a tool to control him. He decides he must escape but knows that leaving won't be easy. Moyo returns to Kemi, admitting the truth about the club and expressing his regret. Though hurt by his past choices, Kemi sees his sincerity and offers him support. Together, they come up with a plan to help him leave the club. Kemi insists that Moyo should reclaim his music, rediscovering his passion for it outside of the club's control. Encouraged by her faith in him, Moyo resolves to take back his life. Breaking away from the club proves difficult. Mr. Owolabi confronts Moyo, warning him that leaving will cost him everything he's achieved. He'll be blacklisted from the music industry, his connection severed. Moyo, though shaken, stands his ground, determined to escape. He realizes that the success the club provided was an illusion, and is willing to rebuild from scratch if it means regaining his freedom. Moyo cuts ties with the club, losing the privileges and fame that once defined him. True to Mr. Owolabi's warning, he finds himself shunned by the industry insiders who once admired him. Undeterred, he returns to his roots, performing at small venues around Lagos, reconnecting with the pure joy of music. With Kemi by his side, he starts to rebuild his career on his own terms, fueled by passion rather than ambition. News spreads of Moyo's split from the club, and rumors circulate that he's ungrateful and difficult to work with. Old friends who once envied his success gossip about his downfall. Despite the backlash, Moyo remains focused on his music, leaning on Kemi and his family for support. He realizes that true success is measured by personal integrity, not fame. Though the journey is tough, he's determined to prove himself once again. Moyo's music evolves as he finds his own voice, separate from the club's influence. His songs, once fueled by ambition, now reflect his struggles, regrets, and hopes for the future. Audiences begin to notice the authenticity in his performances, drawn to the raw emotion he brings to each song. Slowly, he builds a loyal fan base, made up of people who appreciate him for who he is, not the persona the club crafted. Moyo's journey isn't easy, but his dedication begins to pay off. He's invited to perform at a reputable music showcase in Lagos, a chance to regain his place in the industry without the club's influence. Nervous but excited, he sees this as an opportunity to prove to himself, and to Kemi, that he can succeed on his own terms. His performance is a success, and he realizes that he's truly found his path. The club, displeased with Moyo's rising success, tries to lure him back with promises of even greater fame and fortune. When he refuses, Mr. Owolabi issues a veiled threat, warning him that leaving the club has consequences. Moyo is undeterred, more certain than ever that the club's influence is toxic. He vows to expose their secrets if they continue to interfere, determined to protect himself and his loved ones from the club's reach. Despite the club's attempts to intimidate him, Moyo's confidence grows. He realizes that his struggles have given him resilience and a deep understanding of himself. With Kemi's support, he channels his experiences into a new album that tells the story of his journey, the highs, the temptations, and the ultimate redemption. The album receives acclaim, resonating with listeners who feel his authenticity and are inspired by his resilience. Moyo's music career flourishes once more, this time on a foundation of authenticity and integrity. His album garners national attention, and he is invited to perform on some of Nigeria's biggest stages. His story of breaking free from the club becomes an inspiration to young musicians across Lagos, a reminder that true success lies in staying true to oneself. Moyo feels a sense of peace and fulfillment he never experienced during his time with the club. With his career back on track and his life in balance, Moyo finally has the courage to pursue a relationship with Kemi. They share dreams of building a future together, bound by their shared values and experiences. Moyo realizes that his journey has given him more than fame, it has taught him the importance of love, integrity, and self-respect. As he plays his music, Moyo knows he's finally free, charting his path toward a future filled with hope and genuine connection.